guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. I've struggled to do this video because I've got two reasons more than anything else. These days I've been just riding, enjoying myself and just enjoying everything about this board. Just getting lost with the moment. I've gone out a couple of times to film and just never pulled the camera out. So yeah, but here it is. Here's the video, guys. I don't think a lot of you understand how much goes into making a YouTube video, and that's not just like carrying a lot of gear in my bag when I'm riding, or the time consuming that comes into like editing the video afterwards and everything. It can be pretty overwhelming sometimes, but like I said, the video is here and let's go. So this video, I don't really want to call it a review, as I don't really have anything to compare it with. This is my first electric mountain board, and this is more of an experience with the Apex Predator. So let's just jump into it. I just want to put it out there that just to make sure that everyone understands that I'm a beginner rider. I'm no Cheshire Scrubbers, Lee Wright, Bob and John Davey or anything like that, all these other gnarly riders and stuff. You know, I am at a beginner level, and this is like a diary basically of my progression of what I've done and how I'm progressing in the electric mountain board scene, and how I'm adapting and how I'm learning and how I'm understanding the board more than anything else. So I'm not going to go over the specs that much in this video, guys, because I've already covered that in a previous video, which I'll link down below. It'll probably be a few things I'll go over, but it won't be full in depth. So guys, I took a massive gamble on the Apex Predator, meaning I have no electric mountain board experience, I've never ridden one, and to make a high purchase like that, it was a gamble. For years I was completely dead against electric mountain boards, wasn't really interested in it. I've had people come up to me and say, oh, do you want to test my board and stuff like that, and I've just been dead against it. The whole binding situation was really off-putting for me. So yeah, it's a real eye-opener riding an electric mountain board, that's for sure. As a new beginner rider, getting on the board is a whole new mental block of I knew I had to overcome, and this was the whole binding situation. So when I first started off, guys, on the board, I had the bindings on pretty loose, so they weren't tightened onto my feet or anything like that. I had to get comfortable with the board. I had to understand what the board could do and everything first. I had a lot of jip from people inboxing me, telling me, oh, you're riding with the bindings loose and you need to tighten them down and stuff like that. I completely understand, but you got to understand, as a beginner rider like myself at the time, I wasn't comfortable doing that. I had to do it for my own reasons more than anything else. They are tighter than what they were before when I first started out and everything, and that's made me progress as a rider. And I just ignored everyone because I was doing it for my own reasons more than anything else. The people who were telling me to strap these bindings down were people who've got experience. You know, people who were doing much more gnarlier things than what I was doing at the time. You know, it was, I don't think they could see it from my point of view at the time. So, it was a tough one. It was a bit of a battle more than anything else. Me, personally, I was ignoring them, you know. But I just needed to put it out there because I had so many comments, I had so many inboxes about it. And that is my honest reply of why, at the very beginning, I never had my bindings down. They're down, like I said, now they're down a bit lower than what I had them originally, but now I can still slip my feet in and out and stuff like that, and I feel much more comfortable with them now. The heel strap situation that people message me about and comment and stuff like that. At this present time of being a beginner rider, amateur, I would say. I'm not interested at this present time because I don't feel comfortable being fully locked into the board, and I hope people can understand that other people have got different levels of experience, or different people might just send it and go into it straight off. I know people who've done it, and fair play to them and stuff like that, but with myself, I've got reasons. I've dislocated my knee a couple of times in the past and stuff like that. I don't really want to damage myself or anything. I want to enjoy myself when I'm on the board. I don't want to wreck myself, even though I've had a few spills on the board, but I'm going to go up those levels one by one, and maybe one day, guys, you will see me with heel straps on, who knows. Right, so I've addressed all the stuff that people have asked me in the past through Instagram and YouTube comments. I think it's time now to get into it. As a lot of people know, my first ride that I did on the Apex Predator was off-road. It was a whole new experience, and you can see that video on my channel as well. I've documented all that, but I think what is not documented out on YouTube is, as a beginner rider, there's not that much information where people say that you've got to have your weight distributed on a certain aspect. So it'd be like 70-30, so it'd be 70 on the back and 30 on the front, so you're shifting your weight back, keeping the front end light. Now, I am going to put my hand up now that I am terrible still for doing that, because coming from electric skateboarding background anyway, and skateboarding, you would always be either center or you would be over the board a bit more. So it's like a whole new experience now of remapping my mind to adapt to this new riding style, and it is difficult for me. I've had the board for a couple of months and it still catches me out with that whole shifting your weight back and everything, but it's something that I need to understand and need to learn and adapt and everything. If like when I'm going off-road, I need to start learning leaning back more and keeping that front end light. For some people, they must pick it up like that. With me, it's that's not the case. So yeah. Oh, and if you do have any tips or tricks, leave them in the comments below, guys. I am open to all options and everything, and feedback, because if it's gonna make me a better rider, then yeah, go for it, guys, honest to God. So the Hero Bro deck. I think the Hero Bro deck is a perfect deck for me. It is, coming from a LaCroix background, my last board was a Lone Star and the deck was stiff using that, and I didn't really want to go back to Flexi deck after I used the using the Lone Star. It was just perfect. It grounded me. I felt more stability when I was doing high speeds and everything. So when I heard that Apex were having a stiff Hero Bro deck as well, it made me feel more confident, and not just that as well, me being a bigger guy and everything, it just made complete sense. And obviously the whole design of the Apex reskin of the Hero Bro, the black and white with the fantastic Apex Predator logo on the bottom, just looks magnificent as well. Apex is, what can I say about the Apex is, there's a lot of buzz about the Apex is online, and I completely understand why, because they're just, I want to say game changer, because I've never ridden anything like it before. I've ridden normal trucks, I've had to go on double kingpin trucks, I've used the hyper trucks, but these were, they're like, they're completely different. Like, I've gone on all kinds of terrain when I've used this board. I've gone on grass, gravel, dirt. I've gone on some really rough ground and everything, and you see how the Apex Air trucks just, form to the terrain. Like when I looked down for the first time and I seen them going all like this, shaking all over the place and everything, at first I thought, oh my god, this is like the beginning of a speed wobble or something like, and it was just them working their magic and adapting and making your ride stability and comfort 10 times better. I really do like the Apexes. They're probably the best trucks I've ever used, and the fact that you can just swap out the bushings like that, I personally haven't done it at the moment, but I know a lot of guys have. They're using all whites. I'm still using the red and greens because it's still doing justice for me. I still feel comfortable using them, so it just makes total sense. Like, but in the near future, I'd like to test out the all whites like everyone else is using and just go from there. I would say they're 10 out of 10. They really are an amazing truck, and I can't say anything more than that. It's just they live up to the name Apex Airs because it is a whole comfort. It makes sense. Like, so let's talk about the battery and the pelly case more than anything else. The pelly case is a bit of an eyesore, guys, more than anything else, for how the sleek design of the Apex Predator is, considering what I've seen like Lee Wright has got on his board. I want to say it is most definitely grown on me, the pelly case, and there's reasons for that, guys. I have taken this board through mud. I've ridden it in the wet, and I know for a fact that pelly case is doing its job. It's doing its job. It's protecting the battery, and to be honest with you, I really like my pelly case now, and probably would not change it because of the whole reasoning behind it. Like, you're not gonna get anything as well built for that whole specific reason more than anything else, of keeping the board waterproof. Even opening up the pelly case is a pro. There's no screws or anything like that. It's 2 clips, and if I have a spare battery or anything like that, it's bish bash bosh, done, and everything's changed over. You know, everything is simplistic. And that's another thing that I like about this board as well. The simplicity of this board is second to none. It is a fantastic way of keeping everything maintained and the maintenance side of things. And this is coming from a guy who's new into this board and is trying to have an understanding of everything as well. So with the battery, it is a 12S6P NGB 21700. You're probably on a bit range now with a bigger guy like me. I am probably getting about 20 odd mile range, which is good. I am very happy with that more than anything else, of getting that type of range, considering, you know, I had like a monster board before that was doing like so much range, and the board before that was doing like 7 mile range, and I am generally happy with 20 miles. It's perfect, absolutely perfect. I go on regular 10 mile runs now in my area, down the countryside and everything, and it just, I smile every time I look at my range that I've done and what I've got left in the tank. So I can't fault that at all. Oh yeah, so the Metalog. I'm not, at first, when I first used the Metalog and everything, it wasn't working correctly for me. It just seemed like all my stats wasn't coming up correctly, my ride logs wasn't coming up with the map, and it'll track and everything where it shows you the routes and stuff like that. And I thought Meta had a bug on it at first, which it did, but then it just seemed like something else was popping up every single time, and it just wasn't working. But I come to realise then, I think personally, the way where I'm riding and stuff, there's not much phone signal. So it just seems like sometimes it's not taking the data, but apart from that, it's brilliant. If I have any faults with the board or anything like that, it pops up, and I can revert this then to Apex team, and they can have a look at it and give me an insight of what's wrong with the board. I have my battery percentage, which is amazing. Odometer, how much I've done on the board and everything. It is a fantastic little app, and I think more boards need Meta built into them. It's the first time I've used it. I've heard many people in the past, the DIY scene, using it, And yeah, it is fantastic just to look back and see like how fast I've been, where at that point in time where I hit that fastest top speed, the consumption I've done and everything. It is fantastic little app. So yeah, Meta, thumbs up. So I've just got on the specs of the Apex website. It comes up as 19 kg. This is amazing, right, for me, because coming from a LaCroix Lone Star beforehand, the Apex to me now is completely feather light. I am so happy with the weight of the board. It's unbelievable. It is fantastic. The Lone Star was, I think it was like 50-60 pound, I think. I'm not entirely sure what the specs is. If anyone knows the weight of the Lone Star, put it down in the description down below in the comments. But it is perfect for me. It is that right weight, where it's not overpowering, where you're lugging it around. It is heavy and everything like that. I don't want to go back to those days of a really like tank of a board, because it is off-putting. You're dragging it around half of the time. You can't drag it up steps properly if it's too heavy. Like I said, this board is fantastic. The weightness on it, I can't complain at all about that. And that was like one of the things that made me smile more than anything else when I got it, and when I picked it up for the first time. I was like, yes, this is amazing how light it is. Now I know Apex were on a mission anyway to make this board as light as possible, and I'm so glad they did, because it makes such a difference of riding a board that's lighter than what you were used to for the last couple of months and everything. It just, yeah, fantastic. Apex, well done for that. So we'll talk about hill tests and everything. I've taken my board at Cwmcan Forest Drive. If people don't know what Cwmcan Forest Drive is, it's a phenomenal place to ride in South Wales. There's a video on my channel, have a look at it. And this is, God, I was very nervous when I first went up Cwmcan Forest Drive, because I was seeing the full potential of this board for the very first time. I was hearing the moon drives screaming up these hills, and they're not just hills, they're steep hills as well, and these moon drives are screaming, but there's so much more power in the tank to get me up there and everything, and that was a massive eye-opener. But not only that, as a learner rider in the electric mountain board scene, I am strapped into a board and there is cliff edge drops either side, or one side more than anything else, and if things go wrong for me, I'm not getting out of this board and I'm going over the cliff. So a part of that was playing on my mind and everything as well. I know this sounds stupid, guys, I know this sounds stupid, but people don't talk about this. Like other riders, they'll go out and just do a review. They don't express their feelings and their emotions of what is going on when they're riding this board, and this was one of my emotions at the time. I was very nervous. I even say this in my video that I'm nervous, because I don't know what I'm going to experience or expect. All I know is I'm going up a mountain, a perfectly tarmac road mountain, which has got steep inclines and declines as well. Yeah, it was a hell of an experience. It's probably one of my favourite places to ride my board now, and phenomenal scenic ride. I think the company helped me at the time who I was with, because the amount of banter I was having at the time, and the more fun you're having, the more it's going to leave your mind then, and you take in the scenic views around you, and you stop thinking about the bindings, you're locked in. You stop thinking about how fast you're going, are you going to go off the edge or anything like that, and you just embrace it and just enjoy what you've got and stuff. And I that first ever ride I ever done was with Mark Vanstone. You can see how much I enjoyed it and how comfortable I was becoming on that mountain then. It just made it made a hell of a difference. Going from like if I took like I don't know really, another board up there that wasn't bindings or something, I would feel 10 times more comfortable. But because I was actually locked into my board, I think that made all the difference. That played tricks on my mind, and it was there, niggling away and everything, you know, saying if shit goes wrong here, Mark, you ain't getting out of this bindings, you're going over, son, and you ain't surviving. So I guess that is another experience of the board. But like I said, a phenomenal ride, really enjoyed it. It's the user. I before people go keyboard warrior mode in the comments, I understand it's the rider that's controlling the board, and you're the one who's distributing the power and stuff like that. But I was really new at the time, and there's hairpin corners around Cumcan Forest Drive, and trying to get used to the Apex airs, and because they're progressive, you've got to like really lean in to turn, and the faster you go, the easier they turn. So I'm on a mountain now, trying to like get that was a bit, well, brown trouser moment, I would say. I'm always easier on my heel side turning around. I still find the toe side a bit more difficult leaning forward. But these are all new things that I have to learn myself, guys, and like I said, if anyone has any tips and tricks, then I'm all down for it more than anything else, and I completely appreciate everyone that's witnessing my journey through the electric mountain board scene. So my overall experience with the Apex Predator has been phenomenal, amazing. I have no gripes with it whatsoever. The board rides well. It's met every expectation that I wanted to do. I spoke to Lee right at the very beginning stages of when the cogs were turning on why I was going to buy this board and everything. I have been over grass, gravel, mud, everything, the wet roads. I've put it through some stuff that I would normally never do, because I'm trying to push myself. I'm trying to push what this board can do and what I can do. Like I said before, by no means I am an amazing rider. I am amateur 100%, but for me it puts such a smile on my face that I'm not restricted to just locked roads anymore, and just go anywhere, venture, explore. I have discovered new parts of the area where I live in now that I can ride. I don't have to worry about the police where I go because it's very rural. Yeah, I just rip down the countryside and have the biggest smile on my face and not a care in the world of just enjoying myself. And I don't think people understand that with the electric mountain board, that once you try it for the very first time, it is very daunting. I completely agree with you. But that sense of freedom you have alongside it, another level. Absolute another level. It is something else. It's hard to explain because you can go anywhere. You can practically go anywhere. This board is a powerhouse. Not to like saying big it up so much like and everything, but it is built for these types of rides. So I've had a few spills on the board as well, obviously. It's bound to happen being a learner, and it has not put me off once of not going back on the board. I've had some serious slams in the past on other boards where it has been a couple of days, maybe a week, until I get back on that board again, because it's obviously shit me up to the point where I know how much power it's got, and it's thrown me off, and I have to get myself mentally in it again to ride that board. It's like the first step in onto the Apex Predator. I had mad butterflies. I was obviously rushing a bit. The adrenaline was pumping and everything as well, getting a bit of a sweat on, just thinking about it, because I'm thinking, I'm locked in here, I'm locked in. Now I don't care, I just jump on and I go. And that is like the biggest achievement ever from me. If people know me on a personal level, that know that I was completely dead against bindings for years. And now if you just see me, I just put the board down, blam, slide my feet in, and I'm fucking gone, man. I am gone. I've not got to like the stages where like I see people riding, they're doing jumps, like your Cheshire Scrubbers, Lee rides, you know, Bob doing his gnarly fucking jumps and stuff like that. I can do it standing still. I've never like got to that progression stage at the moment where I'm going to do it moving, but I would hope to in the near future. It's the same with like lifting your board up and everything as you go in. I wouldn't say it's a manual. It's like if you bump over something and stuff. Yeah, haven't got into that at the moment either. I don't really understand how that is. So again, guys, drop it down below. The whole tic-tac moving, it's a bit difficult. I can do it a little bit, but I can do it standing still. If I need to stop, I can jump around and stuff like that. So I'm pretty happy with how that's progressed and everything, because my board is quite set up as a stiff setup. So I got more like top end speed and stability, but if I go off-road as well, I have got the stability for the off-road. So I got best of both worlds, but if I go around tight corners and stuff like that, I may have to loosen up the bushings a bit, or if need be, just turn the board a bit. We've all done it, I guess, as a beginner. Get off the board, turn it around, jump back on, boom, gone. So yeah, so I guess my verdict on the board, I would highly recommend an electric mountain board or the Apex Predator to anyone, even if you just have to experience it for the first time, because it is a phenomenal experience. It is very intimidating, I understand that. I was one of them people as well that was shit scared at the very beginning of being locked in. And like I said, you see all these YouTube videos out there, guys, that people are doing all reviews and stuff. They never ever explain their experiences with the board, their emotions, what they're going through, how they achieved it, how long it took them to overcome the fear of bindings and their first bail and stuff like that. You know, how long did it take them to recover? You don't see these types of videos anymore. So I hope this is different to everyone else's. Like I said, this is not a review, this is my experience on the Apex Predator. I don't think I've got the potential to say that I can review this board at the moment, because I have not got the riding ability to see what this board can perform. If anything, the board outperforms me at the moment, to be honest with you, like, but it is a phenomenal board. It is that good, guys, as well. It is my daily driver now. I've even sold my LaCroix Lone Star, because at present time the Apex Predator is my favourite board to date, and that is absolutely fucking crazy to say, considering that many moons ago, this is coming from a guy who was completely dead against electric mountain boards. How converted you are now, Mac. How fucking converted you are is unreal. Taking those fucking blinkers off, you know, it's just, I bet Lee Wright is fucking pissing himself now watching this video, because he's seen me firsthand of what I was like. It is an amazing board, and like I said, don't do what I did, guys, and gamble. Maybe speak to your go to a group ride, speak to someone who's got one, and maybe test drive their board first, because it is a whole new learning experience. It is not your normal board, and I would go down that route and see if you do like the board or not. I know this is a different type of video, guys, and I'm hoping you get to see an insight of how I'm progressing, my journey. Hopefully it is valuable information to other beginner riders, or future or past, or people who are coming into the scene for the first time or are looking to get one, and you can get to see the information that, well, I hope it's valuable information anyway. This is just my experience, but I am pretty sure others will understand as well. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment down below all your information for me. Slap a like on it. And just let me know your thoughts on how I've progressed from day one to now. I've been posting a lot on Instagram at the moment. Practically, I've done no filming for YouTube. Every time I've gone to film, the board is taken over. That's how bad it is. Like, I just get lost in the moment, guys. Yeah, it is fantastic. So if you've got any tips and tricks of making me a better rider, let me know down below. Take care guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.